Renwick and Thompson, and Subway.
Are you looking for convenient shopping? A place where you can shop with no worries or hassle? What about variety, quality, affordability? For a comfortable service with warmth and joy, shop at S. Kumar, located on Melville Street, St. George's in Grand Anse, at the Lance Pines Roundabout. S. Kumar is open 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday, and 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday. Contact S. Kumar on 440-7447 or 435-7447. Visit skumargrenada.com. Facebook and Instagram, simply search for skumar.grenada for an A-class quality, unmatched bargains, topped with friendly and reliable staff. Come to S. Kumar Variety Store.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Why am I hearing? I got my volume up on my phone and I'm asking why am I hearing an echo. Anyway, we're back. We are back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our ladies' room for today, Thursday, November 18th. And we are ending this week's ladies' room on a really positive, high, whatever adjective you can find to describe how we ended it today. At the end of it, I want you to tell me. All right. Like I said, this week it's been a busy week. We had a pretty good session with Eddie Monty yesterday, and I saw my guest in the chat in the comments, and she was there supporting him and giving him power and all of that. So I'd love to hear her take on that this morning. And sometimes you don't even know you're gonna find these people, and it just happened. You just happen to find them. I make most of my posts public, because you can't have everybody. You can't have everybody as a friend. And there are folks who say, you know what, I sent you a friend request ages ago, or I follow you, but I'm not able to see what you're posting, and I'd like to, be part of your conversation. So I make most of my posts public because, there's a maximum limit. I don't know why Mark thinks that you need a limit on friends. This 5,000 friends thing, you got to go, especially when you're doing what I do. But nevertheless, I made a post some days ago, and this beautiful, lovely soul commented. And most of the times you get feedback, and based on the topic, and it's especially when it's to do with men, and it's usually a lot of women. When we respond, it's always against them. So I saw her comment, and she didn't agree with it. As a matter of fact, she went totally left. So I'm like, no, that is refreshing and surprising. So let me engage her and see what's going on. And then, we had a little thingy going on under the post, and I decided, let me go check this person out. Let me see what she's about on her page. So I went over to her page and I saw a couple of her posting, and I'm like, wow, this is somebody that I really, really need to, have a conversation with, So she's here this morning. And I am so happy to, have her as a guest. Cathy and Olive is her name. And she'll tell you a little bit more about herself momentarily. But I just want to tell you guys about that posting that generated the conversation. And of course, here we are this morning about to have another conversation. Alrighty, so come on into the room. Hit the share button. I mean, it is a conversation that we need to have, and it's something that I wish everyone could participate in. So Share the live, share the live, share the live. All right. Good morning, Andre. I already see you here. Marlene, Rita, Leno, Queen Bee. Good morning, Wilma, Deborah. Good morning, Saucy Bane, Wendy Samuel. Good morning, my friends and the folks out there in Canada. Good morning, Tamasha. Good morning, Marian. It's so good to have you ladies here as always. So, without any further ado, let me say good morning to my guests. How are you today? Just on mute and you're good to go. How are you? You hearing me? Hold on. I am not hearing you. Okay. All right. Say something now. Let me hear again. I'm seeing your mouth moving, but I'm not hearing a word from you. Hold on. Um,
I'm wondering if my
I'm hearing
actual.
you now. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
hearing you
so
now.
I'm gonna have to
Sorry.
come off my earpiece. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Good morning,
That's,
everyone. Good morning, Aruna. Thank you so much.
you are so welcome. Now, before we get into the conversation, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Cathy and Olive. I live in Canada. I am Grenadian born. Been living in Canada for like 28 years. Um, I do have a background in I do have a background in social work, and I coach men. So it's out. I coach men from toxic relationships to healthy relationships. And I've been doing it for about 13 years, but I really got into it a little bit more like, from last year. So cat's out of the bag. So I guess with my comments, you're right. You really, you saw the way I
Yeah.
was swinging. So there
Mhm.
you go. So that's a
All
little
right.
bit of me in a nutshell. And I do have two wonderful young men that they're one is going to be 17 and the oldest is 23. So
Fantastic.
predominantly, I come from a male family on both
Mhm.
sides.
So you're in a good place to speak. Definitely in a good place to speak. Now, I mean, out of all the, there are so many people who need um, therapy, who need counseling, who need, so many different things. And a lot of the times we place the focus on
Hmm.
women.
Yes.
We seem to think that women, an end all, be all, happy wife, happy life. And the men,
Yeah.
they're just there,
Yeah.
you know? But you decided, you know what? They also need help. they
Definitely.
also they also need a lot of help. So speak to us on what it is you hear mostly from men. What are their issues?
I think the issues is they haven't been treated with respect. Communication is lacking. When people say men don't communicate, that's bullcrap. I'm sorry, excuse my language. That's really not the truth. Most times we dismiss the men's opinion, we dismiss men in general because we think, well, he's just a man. He'll get over it. I've had a client
Mhm.
say to me, his family told him, you're a man, suck it up, stop being a wimp, And words do hurt. Words do hurt. So we need to really pay attention because we're saying as women, as queens, as empresses, we want a king, we want a man, we want somebody that's gonna be that knight in shining armor. We want that protect. But at the end of the day, we treat the same people that we're asking for like they're second class citizens. Like they're even animals get treated be- better in my eyes than a lot of men. Honestly, I am sorry, but I don't like to sugarcoat. I like to
I-
speak, and I'm gonna speak real.
Today's my day. I'm going to listen because what you say here hits home. I need to learn. Like I said yesterday, you were part of the audience, and I said there are a lot of learned behaviors that we have to unlearn. There are a lot of things that we
Thank you.
thought that
Yeah,
we thought was the way to go, that your mother, or you
absolutely.
saw aunts, or you saw other female family members doing or dealing a particular way with their men,
Yeah,
and you just took it for granted that's the way it's supposed to be. And out of yesterday's conversation, that is one of the things that I've heard, that women seem to think they know it all, we have all the answers. And this so this one in particular jumped out at me yesterday, where this person says they know everything, so I keep quiet. Then they say you don't talk.
that's not the truth. I think what it is that we
No,
don't
what he's
allow the
saying is that
communication. We
what
don't
he's saying is
allow the
that women talk
communication.
and we don't
Sorry.
allow. No, he
Yeah.
was saying that
Mm,
that when his partner comes across as knowing everything, so he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't say anything, so he keeps quiet, and then she says to him, then
You
you
don't.
don't talk. So he's like,
But
what do I
do you
do?
blame him though? Because at the end of the day, he's gonna get eaten down, and no matter what he says, she's right. And we tend to have that habit as women to overtalk our men because we always feel, as he said, we know it all. We keep talking, even if he tries to air his views or tries to have an opinion, we get shut down in seconds. Like, I mean, I've seen it, I've heard it. I'm sure I have done it like in the past. But as you said, it's behavior that needs to relearn. Things that we were, as you said, were taught to us when we were younger as young ladies. We have to remember they have feelings too. They pay attention to, they listen to, they hurt too. So why are we not giving our men a listening ear? Why
So
are we
why are
not
they objectified? Why are they like objects and not like
like human beings, that people that have feelings and all that stuff? The most, as I said, a man would love from his wife, his woman, his partner, his spouse, is respect and communication that consists of comprehension. If you don't understand what your partner is saying, then the relationship is lost, because every time he tries to say something, it's like, eh. You dismiss him, and our body language tells so much when it comes to listening to a partner, supporting him, encouraging him. Our body language tells so much. Like, he will say something and you roll your eyes. You say something, you turn your back, you kiss your teeth. You like, so how is this man supposed to, come to you? How is he supposed to? So as I said, things that I think needs to really happen is we have young ladies. We can have small groups, do small coaching, do small whatevers, and get them to talk and hear their views, hear what they have to say. Because remember, some of our behaviors are learned, as you said. And I know that for a fact. I've seen it. I've heard women say, oh, me, every man I date. Well, guess what, sweetheart? If you keep going to the garbage heap, you're going to get garbage. There's a lot of good men out there that looking for beautiful, wonderful, smart, intelligent women that just needs to have them as their support. Have them as the Bible says, women are men's helpmates. So if we cannot be there to support our men, how are we going to have that king that we want? How are we going to have that king that's going to say, I got you? Every time he does something, we tear him down. Every time he says something, we dismiss him. Do you think he's going to want to talk? I don't think so. I got sons, and I know. Sometimes I say something to my son, and he look at me like, and then he just walk away, and then I'm like, go back, and I'm like, okay, let's talk. Let's let's do this over. Because sometimes you can be in a habit and don't pay attention to it, because it's a habit. It's something that's it's habitual. Everything that you do is just, that's what you've been doing, right?
men seem to think that women are way more in their masculine energy than their feminine energy. What?
Lately, yes, yes. So I'm gonna be called out on this. Okay, I know that. I know that. And my shoulders are broad. I know that.
You than
I
me.
know that. From since we talk about feminist group and feminist this and feminist that, we come into this where, okay, women's right. I get a lot of those things, and I don't want to disrespect anybody. No platforms, no organizations, no groups, no nothing. But my thing is that we are the nurturing type of these creatures. We are the nurturing creatures, right? We tend to the homes. Yes, you can have your jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have your careers. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes when we think of money, we make that become a priority in our life, and we make it look like, because we make a certain amount of money, because we have a career, because we become this. You're still a woman. Where's that nice, soft, tender side that, when that man comes home, he just wants that embrace? Yes, you can be upset, you can be tired, but guess what? Still be that woman for him. Still be that person that's going to just hold him and say, I got you. Men go through a lot of stuff. They just don't talk because of the reception that they get at home or they get in relationships. And then we say, oh, he doesn't talk. Every time he come home, he's miserable. Every time he come home, why do you think you want to spend so much time with his guy friends? because all they do is sit and watch TV, drink beers, and chill and talk whatever they want to talk, and then we don't understand. But we don't take the time to listen to our partners, and that's what I keep saying. Communication and comprehension is a big thing, a big thing.
Someone here says, let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
There's two comments actually. Queen Bee says we often keep the good ones in the friend zone and say they're cold and boring. And then Sheena says, this tells me that we are dealing with the wrong man. When as he opens his mouth, we gotta stoop, suck our teeth. If this is the reaction, that man is not for you. What's your take?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but you have to know your partner. You have to know your level of what you want, where you are in life, what you're willing to accept and not accept. So it comes down to where you are in life, because sometimes we tend to accept a lot of nonsense, and we think that's love. We tend to accept a lot of stuff, and we think that's so. If you don't think this man has a certain personality or a certain trait that you, there's nothing wrong to say, well, yeah, I think we're good, because I believe in any relationship, you should be able to speak to your partner should be able to speak to you. You guys have a good communication where that the relationship is not 100%. Nobody's gonna have like a perfect relationship, but at the end of the day, you having that dialogue and having a healthy dialogue with your partner, knowing how to communicate, I think that's
And
that's
I think
that's
that is the issue, like the healthy part of it, like the boundaries part of it,
yeah,
because it's almost like a game to see who could push the
that's
hardest,
it.
or
Yeah,
who
exactly.
like who could have a go at it the most,
Yeah, yeah,
and to
yeah,
prove that, hey, that I'm independent, so
yeah, yeah,
I got me, I can do
yeah,
me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then someone said on the WhatsApp, okay, if that's the case, then why are you with somebody? Then just be by yourself.
I agree. Plain and simple, I agree. Because you're making yourself miserable and making the person miserable, or the person would be miserable because you guys are not having that dialogue. You guys are not healthy enough for each other. And I always tell people, if you leave a relationship, give yourself time. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself time. Because mentally, physically, emotionally, the whole 9 yards around you, it's for you. You do you, heal you, find the perfect balance where you either find a coaching system, you find therapy, you find counseling, or you just find a strong system that's going to help you to heal. There's times you leave a relationship and it's bad. It's really nasty. But at the end of the day, you find somebody else. And it's like I always say it's like dating the same people, just different faces. So you find yourself back into that toxicity. You go back and it's like, I left John, but it's like I'm with John. And I hear
Yeah,
friends, I hear people say the
yeah.
same thing.
I'm
I
sure
left
that
John, but it's like I'm with
almost
John,
every woman could relate to that one.
right?
And then you're like, okay, well, I probably should have stayed.
Because you know the hurt, you know the pain, you know what John give. But the thing is that, do you deserve to be in a relationship that you're not happy? Is it, you have to sit down and really dissect. And that's one of the reasons why I really took this coaching more serious, because I've seen the hurt in a lot of men. I've seen the frustration in a lot of men. I have one client right now that I'm working with. I have a group, I do group coaching, I do one-on-ones. And right now I'm doing a small 4 weeks program with 7 men. I pulled a group together and we're talking. One of my clients said to me, I haven't opened up to a woman in 22 years. He said,
Wow.
every woman that came my path came to me, or I had to be associated with them somehow, was either abusive, rude, disrespectful, hurtful. So I tend to just back off and try to have less interaction. Now tell me this.
But that is not healthy.
Definitely not. And a lot of things stem from childhood, work related, relationship wise, in terms of like intimate relationship with partners and stuff. And it was just my thing saying, what happened here?
Mhm.
This is not going to take a 1 day fix, a 1 week, a 4 weeks fix, is whatever. It's going to take some work, right? Because we break them down, but we want them to be protectors. We want them to be lovers. We want them to be friends. We want them to be husbands. We want them to be, but how would they be that if all they've been having or all they've been going through is the hurt and the pain?
Someone here is saying, hold on, let me hear what this person is saying. Hold on.
Watch out to me that woman I need to shake she hand because woman feel they know everything and they always right and they independent until that to change the cylinder head, change a bulb in the roof, or that to change a spare tire. That when they don't they know man and they feel they know everything. I want to shake that woman hand.
Wow.
Oh
Listen, you know
gosh.
what? Whatever. Yeah, but she's speaking. She's spitting some gems this morning. Someone also says yes, Miss Emancipated are breaking the crucial links to our men bonding with us.
Mm-hmm.
So on your journey, and of course, as part of what you do,
Yeah.
apart from the respect, what other ways are you working on? What are they complaining? Not well, I shouldn't say complain. That's not a good word. What are they saying that we need to like pay attention to?
We need to listen. That's one of the biggest things. We need to listen. Like when I say listen, I don't mean just he's talking and you're walking, he's talking and you're talking. We need to listen. We need to pay attention to our
Feel like
men.
you're
Yeah,
talking to
we
me
need
right
to really listen. And if he's talking about something, put your all into him. Like listen, like really listen. Lean in. Like these are little tips, honestly. Lean in so that he see that you're paying attention to him. So your communication and his communication is the dialogue is just going to be really intimate. And we tend to think that only during sex we can talk
now.
because things happen. We say things and sometimes we don't mean it
Mhm.
because that's why we talk.
Very
No,
true.
people, even after sex, even before sex, just intimacy does not have to mean also, it doesn't have to mean just sex. But intimacy means that you and your partner are together, sitting together at a glass of wine or laying in bed, relaxing, and you can talk. He can talk. And you guys can have that nice, sweet, as I think I said yesterday, have that love language, that love communication. So it's easier to know his heart, to feel his heart, to have that togetherness, because a lot of that is lacking in relationships lately. And I we're touching on the topic of women being independent, and I've heard someone, a family friend, said that, oh, me, I'm independent, and that you have a husband, so where is it in the, like, to me sometimes we say things and I wonder, if you're with a husband, you've been married for x amount of years, what are you talking about independence? Yes, you make your own money, yes, you whatever,
Mhm.
but it's because you're a union. Like, to me, we fail to realize marriage is a union. We fail to realize that. We come in still like if we're still single and we're still vicarious living like this crazy life. No,
I do
you're
agree with
married.
you.
I understand you make your money. That's not a problem. Anybody can make money. And we tend to use that. I'm so independent. Well, guess what, sweetheart? You'll be independent and you'll be by yourself for the rest of your life. And we see it. We see a lot of that. We don't tap into our feminine energy as much as we should. Girl, let me tell
Listen, there are women who don't even know what that feminine
you.
energy
Thank
is
you.
because
Thank
from the
that.
way they grew up, from their entire life journey, their experiences, it's just like you just had to be hard. You never had a moment to be like soft, to lean into yourself and just be, oh, womanly and girly and all of those things. You just had to. So that's what I'm saying. Again, it goes back to unlearning a lot of those learned behaviors, and it's taking time out to go into self.
Yeah.
Because if you keep hearing the same thing from every person that you've been with, at some point you have to be like,
You have to
okay,
rethink it. You do. And I mean,
maybe
sometimes again, these things is not like, as you say, the experiences. Yes, that's something that happened, but that does not mean
those things
that
can
that
harden a
person
person.
doesn't have that, you know? It's just that it is just environmental. Everything around them just happened to them or happened around them, so they had to do certain things to, I guess, in a sense, survive or whatever. But the women that is out there looking for a spouse or looking for a partner to whatever, tap into your feminine energy. You can speak. Okay, these are some of the things. When
There's
it
her
comes
name.
to,
What's her name? April. Is it April Jones? I think it's April Jones. She speaks. Um,
oh
she,
yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
I
April,
follow
yes,
her, and she speaks a lot about
about
this
feminine energy.
feminine.
Yes,
Like, as a matter of
because
fact, that's all she teaches women.
yes, yes,
and
she
and
did.
and sometimes before, a lot of women bashed her because to her they saw it as being weak, Why should I, let a man take control of me, or control of my home, or control of
Yeah,
us, or control,
yeah,
so it is control. And
yeah.
she literally spends her life
Life, yes.
teaching about
Short
feminine
hair,
energy,
very dark.
short hair,
Yes,
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 feminine,
that's
feminine,
yes.
feminine
She talks
energy,
about feminine
and the
energy all the
importance
time.
of it. And she's like, listen, until you tap into that feminine energy, you'll never find that
Yes,
happy home
yes,
or happy relationship
exactly,
that you're looking for.
exactly,
As much as a man, like she says, needs you to, you could handle things, you can take care of it, he wants to know that he can do it and he's got it,
yeah,
even
yeah,
though he knows you
yeah,
can as well. So you don't
yeah,
need to be all beating your chest like I can do it. And and according to her, based on her seminars and what have you, that seems to be one of the issues men have, that
yes,
women don't know, like, okay, for want of a better word, their place in terms of chill,
yes.
relax.
I got this. I
I
got
got
this.
this.
You know,
Even though
yeah,
I may not do it immediately, I got it.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Because
There was something
it's
we were talking
important.
about. I didn't want to
Mhm,
cut you, but there was something that you were talking about on there, and we're talking about women in relationships and they're not having the orgasm that they would like, and
mhm,
then they tend to. Now, somebody had commented on there saying that they never met a woman that never had one.
mhm.
Now, fellas, a little bit of cats out of the bag. Not every woman that says ooh whatever. Okay,
I said that.
so just a little bit of education. it's it's basically wanting to please your partner and not wanting to hurt his ego.
Because you know how they can be when it comes.
Because at the end of the day, if this man only feel that you haven't whatever or you haven't come to that climax, he can get really turned off, and it can prevent him from performing, let's say, later the day or later a week or with you, because he's feeling, what did I do that, and then he's going to look at it as he is the issue. But there's times women go through trauma, women go through, there's disease in the body that can create a lot of those things that doesn't happen. And the name for that is called anorgasmia. There's women that never had one, will never have one.
Don't know
Some will
what it
have it
is.
through oral stimulation, and some will have it through masturbation. You have some women will have it, but they're sporadic, like they're not always consistent. So these are just a little bit of tips, a little bit of stuff. So if you seeing she's whatever, whatever, and you could, and that's what I'm saying, the language we
But
need to have
why is it so uncomfortable having that
having these
conversation with the
conversations.
person
That's
that
what I'm saying.
sees you
We're
at
all
your
adults.
most exposed self? Nobody, but so for some, it's okay for them to have the conversation with other people. But this
Right,
person sees you at your most
right,
naked,
right,
your most
right.
exposed, and you're not
Exposed. Yes.
comfortable saying that to them, and people wouldn't not getting offended by you. Why is it so hard to have
We
that
were we
sexual
were we
conversation?
were taught as kids not to expose our body. We were taught as young ladies to cover up and to be, even if somebody walk into the room, the first thing, you don't cover everywhere, but you cover. You
Mhm,
cover. It doesn't matter. The first thing you do is grab something, right?
mhm.
So you were taught to be very protective of your body and stuff like that. So it's in a sense taboo for some people to talk about sexual experience or sexual dysfunctions and stuff like that. We have to it's the same thing again. Let's unlearn these things. Sex now is like so widely, it's
It's
available
everywhere.
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Pornhub, this, that, all kind of stuff. You go on some of these things and you see women shaking their butt everywhere. It's sexual. You see whatever you see, and yet still we tend to have that put on the back burner or put behind us because we pretend it doesn't happen and it's not there. We just need to be able to have communications, speak where we can. If my partner is not pleasing me, who's the one's feeling me? So I want to know I feel good. I will tell my partner what to do. Speak to your partner. There's nothing wrong in having a nice, healthy communication with your partner.
But that
Nothing.
starts from, you creating that atmosphere to have those sort of open conversations, and it has to be from the
Definitely.
very beginning of a relationship.
Definitely.
You can't be closed in and boxed in, and then later on you want to, be expressive and all of that. This person be like, What's going on with you? You know, from the beginning, you have to make these things normal, normalize these conversations, and not make it seem as though, okay, well, this girl, she's a hot one, or she's this or that. If she wants to speak on, sex, or she wants to speak on what pleases or doesn't please her, we have to
Mhm.
normalize these conversations from the very beginning, and everyone be, you know, open to having the conversation, because I'm sure there are men who would say, you know what, I'm not pleased either, but I just go through the motions and I whatever happens happens. But I'm not fully satisfied as well. I'm sure there are men who
Oh,
say
there's
the
love.
same.
There's love.
Um, so why can't we normalize these conversations and stop being so uncomfortable?
Because sex has always been an uncomfortable. Sex, religion, money, stuff like that have always been uncomfortable. Even in your home, I don't know how like your home, but for me, I grew up with my grandparents. My mom traveled quite a young at a young age. So having being brought up into a home where your aunts are like your sisters, they're
Mhm.
older. You some things you can't go to them and ask them. They look at you like, why do you want to know this? And in the Caribbean, who really spoke about sex in back in the days in the 1970 whatevers? Nobody
Nobody.
really did. So now I'm saying that we are a bit older now. We're more modernized in terms of like um the information we can get. Let's try to break those barriers so that we can help our kids build healthier relationships. We can help our nieces or nephews or cousins or build healthier relationships, because this is what the world needs right now. We see that there was a segregation in terms of relationship. You're in it, but you're in it with other. Well, we'll get into that next time.
Mhm.
Let's try to keep that relationship where it's healthier, so our kids can see it and they can see that mommy and daddy love each other no matter what, and they can have that language that I understand, because they're not fighting, they're not arguing all the time. But I always see them kissing here, playing here, being playful. And that's the thing a lot of relationships lately is missing, playfulness.
Yeah. It's
Nobody knows
just
how to
like so
play anymore.
serious and so like rough and
Yeah.
like chill. Like
It's just being that child again.
just
It's like you have a partner and it's like you want to be a child with your partner. You want to be like you're on the playground every day, just being yourselves, being open, being vulnerable. And a lot of times women don't want to feel vulnerable. They think it's a weakness.
Mhm.
Girl,
I'm happy that you made that point, because someone here is saying, Tamasha is saying, sleeping with someone and trusting someone with your truth is a big issue for women. It is a truth I learned after I met my husband. Richie is also saying, what we need in a relationship is communication, honesty, respect, trust, loyalty, humor, laughter, love, romance, we time, our time.
yes, yes. Richard, I agree with you 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. You get a million stars on that one from me. Definitely. And it's lacking. And it's sad that we would sit and talk about, oh, I want this and I want, but you have it there. It's for you to just shape it. It's for you to shape it. If you want something, like you want a car, you will go do whatever you got to do, make your payments, put it aside, because you're preparing yourself for that. So now you have it, you're gonna take care of it. You don't want it to run out of gas. You don't want the oil to, get bad. You have to do your maintenance every so often. So it's the same thing. Nurture what you have.
And that's the point I was making with Eddie yesterday, that relationships are like businesses. It's an investment. You invest in it.
Definitely.
What you put into it is what you
Is
get
what
out
you
of
get
it.
out of it.
And
Absolutely.
you have to continue to invest, and you're gonna see the returns. You don't just get up next day, you jump into a relationship today, and tomorrow you already want, everything, the picket fence, the best person. At the end of the day, we're all human, right? We
Definitely.
No two persons are the same. What makes me happy probably makes you unhappy, and vice versa.
That's
But
it.
where is the middle ground? And I think that is what's missing. Like, as soon as you're not feeling it, I'm gone.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no, okay, let me work on it. Someone really work on it. And if it doesn't, then
Yeah.
I can walk away saying, you know what, I gave this my best shot. I
Yeah.
really tried, but it's not to be
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Why is it so easy to just like to walk, move
Because
to
because lately we don't have the structure of a relationships like we like our parents or grandparents used to have, where I know I'm gonna get bashed, where that grandpa might do something really out of the home,
a five
and
children
he
and a
have
six
his
kids?
the neighbor 5 houses don't have 2 kids for him, and grandma is home and she have the household going or whatever, but he's not leaving. I'm not saying that's right. I would never say that's right. So, guys, don't take it wrong, please. What I'm saying is that there is a bond and a structure that we need to just bring back when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, when it comes to respect, when it comes to truth. Because most of the time we're not in our truth. We're definitely not in our truth. We will sit in the most toxic, and even though we know it's not good for us, we think it's the best thing that happened to us. And as you said, we put the good ones in the friend zone and we say, oh God, girl, I can't take girl, this man he too nice, he too nice, he too nice. But guess what? This man see you as a gem. He respects you, he loves you, and he see who you are because he can see a future with you. We don't pay attention as women most times because we think no, because oh God, girl Paul too sweet, girl Paul too nice. Paul has bring lunch for me every Friday, and I don't ask Paul for lunch, you know. But you see, we pay attention to the one that's the tiger egg,
They have to
where
beg
yeah,
for
you have to beg for the attention. You have to call him every so often. The phone is whatever, but we don't pay attention to those things, right? So having that relationship, I'm trying to just bring that point back. Having a relationship where it's more structured, person cares for you, you care for that person. You can have that language where you can speak to that person with love and respect, and you build. That's where the healthy relationship comes in. Everybody could see red flags from a mile. We just don't. Sometimes we just don't pay attention, and sometimes we just don't care. I think
again.
most of it is not paying attention because we're in our head, and most of the time we need to get out of our head. We need to literally see it for what it is.
So then, why after the fact you can say, "Oh, I saw the red flags," or you did this.
Because I think
Because
because
when
like we
did I
want
find
we
this
want
lady?
to feel needed and wanted and all that stuff. So we would rather sit in something. We let age become a factor. A lot of women let age become a factor for staying into something because we're like, okay, we're past 35 and we haven't been married and we haven't had XYZ. We haven't done this, we haven't done that. So anybody that come is like that clock is like really ticking too quick. It's just like ticking in your head, and it's like I got to do this. I got to. So
So you overlook things.
you overlook things. You find relationship that you know is not healthy for you, it's not good for you. You get involved, and things happen. But I keep saying, take your time. What is for you will always find you. What is for you will always find you.
That's a good
Always
way.
find you. That's what I believe, and that's what I practice. What is for you will always be for you.
Good morning, Sue. Sue out in the US, she's saying, where did I find this lady? She's a gem. My kind of lady. And she said, you're definitely speaking some gems. Um, as always, we have to do we got to do a couple more of these because we can't cram everything into one. We sort of try to touch everything, but we got to do because there's one thing that I saw on your page and I made a note of that I really wanted to focus on. Like I said, somehow we always find the conversation coming back to women when it's supposed to be about men. Um, some strategies for men on how to cope with stressful situations in their lives,
Mhm.
etc., whether it's relationship, job, whatever the case might be. Just coping because like I said, they're not doing it the way we do, but they're getting there
Yeah.
in terms of speaking up a little,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I was told by a couple of them is that they just want women, the world, society to understand that they have feelings as well
Definitely.
and that their feelings matter. And they
Definitely.
may not be expressive as we are or know how to come to express themselves like we do, but sometimes they'd like an opportunity to be heard and to be listened to. And you made a point a while ago of listening, and that was one thing I had to check myself on because you probably might be listening, but you're listening and you're in your phone while he's
Mhm.
trying to communicate,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you're there, okay, and you're in your phone and he's
Mhm.
there trying to have a conversation, and you're scrolling through Facebook or you're on Instagram, and this
Yeah.
man is there trying to
Yeah. Put his
express
hand out.
himself
Yeah.
of something, and you just there scrolling and whatever. So that is one thing I had to really check myself on. Like when you're giving your attention, when they ask your attention, let it be undivided, right?
Definitely.
Kathy,
Definitely.
Monty says, Kathy, and you are a realist. More women like you need to speak to our women. They are too distracted and are allowing feminists to misguide them.
Yes,
Monty,
definitely.
I'm going to put you and Kathy in the same room. And here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do, Monty. I'm going to introduce the program. I'm going to sit back, take myself off the screen, and I'm going to let you and Kathy have a conversation. And I want no part of it. All right? How about that? Can you do that for me, Kathy?
I want to see how long you're gonna last, but yeah, definitely.
I am capable of listening. All right. That's gonna be my day to prove that I can listen. So I'm just gonna probably interject here and there just to make sure that you probably might miss some comments or you might miss a couple questions in the room that I can share. But apart from that, I want you and Monty to have that conversation because I
No
mean
problem.
he's a real
Anytime,
where the are concerned and you are real as well. And I really
anytime he's ready, I am ready. Definitely.
like Monty. See,
Definitely.
I won't be able to help myself. Listen, have some faith.
I said the same thing, so there we go. She has to prove us wrong now. She has to prove us wrong.
Wow, look at these people. Absolutely no faith in me. Sam, the one there who never will listen. Monty won't be able to help herself. Listen to this one on the WhatsApp. I'll bring you a case of malt if that happens. Okay? Or case of malt, watch me. All right. So we
Not
so
in
we
the wager, right?
go on. Any final words before we go?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you honestly for taking a chance on me in terms of like, you know, I guess with the contents that I've seen your posts numerous times. I've seen your lives. I paid attention. Like I've maybe paid attention for years. And just this one thing sparked everything. And I'm like, hmm. My mind said comment. I said no. My mind said, I said no, girls. Just watch. Just pay attention. And I just got on it.
That's the
So
best.
it goes to show that there is a need. There is honestly a need for healthier relationships. There is a need for having the dialogue like you do. And that's what you ask, how do we start? And I said, you already started it, sweetheart. You already open it up. So don't think that you're not a valid part. You're not a big part of this. You're the like one of the biggest part because you have been having these dialogues for so long. And now we're saying, we're paying attention, girl. We got you. We're paying attention. Like I'm saying, I'm happy to see that you don't pick the sides. You can be very neutral. You can sit on the fence and you can pay attention to people's comments and you can say stuff. But you haven't really swayed, left or right. And for me,
Sometimes
as
I
I
just
said,
like poking the bear. I just like poking a
yes,
bear.
you do, and it's a
Reaction
good
out of
thing.
them.
It's a good poke and it's good fun, meaning that even though we can come out and express ourselves, there is always education in there. There's always something that somebody's gonna get. Because I'm sure when we do speak, somebody's paying attention. Somebody's definitely paying attention. So as I said, you could speak to a million people, but if you get through to one person, girl, you've done the world a big justice. You've done your piece. You know what I mean? So
So
kudos to you, your team. I mean, you've been doing a damn good job, honestly. Excuse the French,
I appreciate
but kudos.
thank you so much.
And
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for having me. And for all your listeners out there, thank you guys for being a part of something wonderful.
And you're coming right back because we're not doing this one. There's so many. There's a lot of content on your page that
Yeah.
that we really need to delve into. There's a lot of useful and amazing content on your page. And uh, what's her name on Facebook? It's her name up here, Kathy and Olive.
Yeah.
Some folks are asking what's your name. Yeah, and she usually goes live as well on some of these things. So would love if you guys would join her when she's live. All right. She doesn't do it often, but when she does, it's a good one. So you
I
can
do the live. Sorry, I don't want to cut you. I do the lives mostly in my group with the group that I have, and
Mhm.
in there it's called empowerment, but empowerment with men, that's really big in caps. So if you want to look for me there, just go into my Facebook and you'll see my group in there. You can join. For men that's been in relationships and need help and support, I am there giving that support to men. If you have family members that need help and support, and guys, it's non-judgmental and it is a private group, so you have to request it and then I can approve you. So at the end of the day, let's be a brother's keeper. As I said, the same thing on the message. Let's just be there to support our men. If we want to have wonderful kings, we have to know how to raise them, right? We have to know how to support them. We have to know how to help them. And that's
Right.
pretty much the journey I'm on. And somebody said to me, why are you trying to fix men? And I said, sweetheart, it's not about fixing anybody. It's encouraging those men that need the support, that's looking for that encouragement to say, I got you. That's what I do. That's the journey I'm on. I'm not on there for
To fix anybody.
anything else. I
Okay.
cannot fix anybody. Anything that we have to do is within us. We already have it. They say, look at the man in the mirror. Whatever you're looking for outside is already there. So I'm not trying to fix no one. I'm just here to encourage our kings. I call them kings in my group, and I'm going to continue saying it. We have wonderful kings that just need the support. And at the end of the day, if we don't do it,
Nobody would.
nobody would.
We got to start somewhere. Send me the name of it so I can share it on my
Right.
my page as well, because there are a couple folks asking about it, and we can take it from there. So Monty's game for next week. So I'm just gonna organize with you because I know you're a busy lady to make sure that the time and day matches
Yeah.
well. All right. So
Sounds good.
we definitely keep in touch and organize that. Alrighty. So
Okay.
thank you so much. You
No,
were
thank you. Thank
you're
you.
on fire this
Appreciate you.
morning.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank
All
you.
right. And that just about concludes our program this morning. Yeah, final one for the week as well. We'll be back next week, God's willing, with some more. And hope you guys will join us for that. Thank you so much to our friends at Beacon Insurance, Western Union, and S. Kumar Variety Store for being part of Our Ladies Room. Alrighty, so catch us again. Alrighty, Monty, I'll link with you so we'll organize. Have a good one, y'all.